Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I bid to Prof. Dr. Tunku Kamaruzaman bin Tunku Zainul Abidin, Prof. Dr. Mustafa bin Ali Muhammad, ACP Rosli bin Hassan, and Dr. Muhammad Saleh bin Yahya. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our first of many monthly Thursday noon talk series. The series of talks is an initiative from our emergency department in order to reach out and to educate the public that we serve daily in hopes to shed some light on issues pertaining to medicine. Our most sincere hope is that these talks enlighten the audience and set the record straight on many issues that may have been clouded by social media and hearsays. Now, before we start, I would like to invite Sister Zairul to recite some dua. Sister Zairul.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Bagi memberkati majlis, kita silakan Al-Fatihah. Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Engkaulah yang mempunyai segala kepujian. Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kepujian. Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kesyukuran. Engkaulah yang memiliki segala pemerintahan. Di tangan Engkau segala kebajikan. Kepada Engkaulah kembali segala urusan. Allahumma ya Karim ya Rahim, cucurilah rahmat dan rahimmu ke atas program kesihatan dan kesejahteraan ini yang diadakan pada hari ini, dan berkatilah ia dari awal hingga akhirnya. Ya Allah, kami juga memohon perlindungan daripadamu dari segala perkara yang boleh mencacat cegahkan majlis kami, dan daripada segala perkara yang melalaikan kami, dan berbuat taat kepadamu juga kami serah segala urusan kami. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Thank you, Sister Zairul. Next, I would like to invite our guest of honor, the Director of University Malaya Medical Center, Professor Tunku Kamaruzaman Tunku Zainul Abidin, to say a few words and to further officiate this event. Professor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang dihormati Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang saya hormati Tuan ACP Rosli bin Hassan, Ketua Polis Daerah Putrajaya. Yang dihormati Profesor Dr. Mustafa Ali Muhammad, penceramah kita minggu ini. Yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Saleh bin Yahya, Ketua Jabatan Perubatan Kekhidmatan. Yang saya hormati Datuk David Chua, kawan lama kepada UM dan PPUM. Ketua-ketua jabatan dan unit, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Pertama sekali, marilah kita memanjatkan kesyukuran kehadrat Allah kerana dengan izinnya kita dapat berkumpul dan bersama-sama dalam majlis pelancaran dan perasmian Public Thursday Noon Talk Series Anjuran Jabatan Perubatan Kecemasan Pusat Perubatan Universiti Malaya. Saya dimaklumkan ada tetamu yang hadir daripada Ibu Pejabat Polis Putrajaya, Jabatan Bomba dan Penyelamat, warga PPM serta orang awam. Tahniah dan terima kasih saya ucapkan kerana sudi meluangkan masa untuk menghadiri program ini. Untuk makluman, mulai bulan Januari 2018, PPM melalui Jabatan Perubatan Kecemasan akan mengadakan ceramah pada setiap hari Khamis pertama setiap bulan, bermula dengan ceramah pada hari ini yang bertajuk Herbal and Traditional Medicines How Safe Are They, yang dijangka akan mengambil masa selama 1 jam. Objektif siri ceramah ini adalah bagi meningkatkan tahap kesedaran dan ilmu pengetahuan mengenai isu-isu kesihatan semasa dalam kalangan masyarakat sejagat dan juga kaki tangan kesihatan awam. Saya mengambil kesempatan ini untuk merakamkan setinggi-tinggi tahniah kepada semua ahli jawatankuasa Public Thursday Noon Talk Series Jabatan Perubatan Kecemasan yang telah bekerja keras untuk memastikan siri ceramah ini berjalan dengan lancar. Sekalung penghargaan dan terima kasih kepada semua yang terlibat secara langsung atau tidak langsung dalam menjayakan program ini. Akhir kata, dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya merasmikan Public Thursday Noon Talk Series ini. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum.
Thank you, Prof. Tunku Kamaru. Now, our speaker needs no introduction. He is a notable professor in the Department of Pathology in University Malaya Medical Center with countless high-profile research publications under his belt, revolving around clinical pharmacology, traditional medications, and medicinal chemistry. Truly an expert in his field, he will present and elaborate further on herbal and traditional medicines and their impact on our health. I would like to welcome upon the stage Professor Dr. Mustafa bin Ali Muhammad. Let's give him a round of applause.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan very good afternoon to all. Thank you to the organizers for giving me the honor of being the first speaker in this series. I really appreciate that and I'm honored that I'm here. Okay, what I'm going to do in the next 1 hour is to illustrate some information. I don't think facts and figures because I try to make this lecture as layman as possible. I know that people in the audience are coming from various different perspectives. So I try to make it as layman, but I cannot avoid having some scientific terms and jargon just to impress you. Okay, I will talk on herbal and traditional. Why the screen is not full? Herbal and traditional medicine, how safe are they? Yeah, the screen is not full. Something is wrong. The screen is full, the slide is not full. Okay, my focus today will be on safety. But I will also try to limit, because I got only 1 hour, limit to the local herbs, the Malay traditional medicine, but of course I will include some aspect of other traditional medicine. We know that, oh, this is not good. Can you do something? Tadi okay, masa test tadi okay. Okay, we know that herbal medicine is used herbal medicine is used for a very, very long time in all over the world since early civilization, and they are macam ni pun okey lah kalau tak boleh penuh kan. Why? Let him sort out, but I will go through, I will not stop. This traditional medicine has evolved so much. In the beginning, they are in the form of collecting plants and using it for some medication. Slowly they evolve, people begin to identify this plant is good for this, that plant is good for this. And as science emerged through the civilization, people tend to be more scientific about the medicines, about the plants, and people began to study, and some form of new knowledge emerges, like pharmacy, pharmacology, toxicology, and all these emerges during the course. And the plants were being developed into more precise medication, especially the Chinese, the Indians, and some Western parts, some Western countries has gone into serious development. And we see today that the Chinese traditional medicine has developed so much that they become an icon of traditional medicine itself. They have all the protocols and all that. Same thing with some other traditional medicine. Tak boleh? Tak boleh? Yeah, still cannot. Oh. Never mind, we still have to continue. I think I can see some. Okay, this is the introduction. They are proven to be good in some occasion, and we have been using plant-based medicines for a long time in our modern medicine. For example, this plant, Vinca roseus, has been used to extract vincristine, vinblastine, which is a major anti-cancer drugs used in all parts of the world, very widely used until today. They are still being used. So this is an example of how plants are developed for medication and for modern medicine as well. These are the three common components: traditional knowledge, plus some modern science, plus some medical knowledge and modern medicine. They have developed into an innovative discovery engine. The aim of this is to develop safer and more efficacious and affordable, effective modern drugs. The plant source forms the major component of medicine for many years. Now people have gone into modern chemistry, developing structural based products, using so many techniques to develop modern drugs using receptor-based binding and so on. But previously, traditional knowledge and plants forms the main source of. I think that's good enough. Thank you very much. Okay, in 2000, the Malaysian government has formed a committee which we set to develop the theory for the country to adopt all the traditional medicine, to integrate them into modern medicine. So that started in the year 2000, where complementary medicine has been integrated into our modern medical system. From then on, we have been promoting a lot of local plants and local herbs. These are some in the list. This is not all. Toka Ali is very famous. Pegaga, Halia, Cekul, Pinang, this is Areka. Mengkudu, Noni. I think you may have heard about this. I will talk about a bit more later. And Sirih. Sirih is used by the Bomo and by people who want to enjoy the anything needs Sirih. Anything needs Sirih. Okay. Why plants are being the focus for medicine? Actually, plants are created for human and animal consumption. with a note, not all plants, some are poisonous, okay? But most plants are created for all this purpose because plants contain chemicals. They have a lot of components in the plant. Every plant has got many components, many chemicals. They are made up of chemicals, okay? These are some examples like alkaloids, flavonoids, terpenes. If you look at this is glycosides. You may have heard of cardiac glycosides. It's a very, very potent drug. If you take it without prescription, you may die. It attacks the heart straight away. So this is some example of how safe and how effective, how good are chemicals from plants. I'm still talking about chemicals from plants. These are some examples that we can see. When we use plants, we know there are chemicals there, but we always expect this. They are synergistic actions. That means 2 or 3 chemicals may act together and become better. We also think that they complement each other. The other will help the others. Okay. And this combination will neutralize the system. That means we think that if we take chemicals from plants, in the end, it's neutral. There's nothing wrong. So this is as if it is a yin-yang theory. The Chinese famous yin-yang theory. The good, the hot and the cold, the negative and the positive becomes neutral. So this is a concept that people have when they talk about traditional medicine. Actually, it is, I call it abuse. I will tell you later why. It is not really right to have this concept. Not true for many plants. Okay, what people conclude? People will think that materials from plants are medicinal and safe, at least compared to modern medicine. I think many will agree. They are very safe and they are medicinal. Okay, people believe that traditional medicine is better because they are natural and they do not contain chemicals. I mentioned to you so many chemicals in the plants, and the belief is still, oh, this plant no chemical. That is a concept that is going wild in the society, which is very wrong. They use this to camouflage whatever they want to sell. Okay, so this is very important. And they are natural. Everybody thinks natural is very... Okay. People have forgotten, these are natural. Snakes are not synthetics. And all toxins are natural. Toxins are poisons coming from plants and animals. So not all natural things are safe. Another point that we have to remember. This is very important. I always got it wrong, even from students. Yes, students forgot about. Okay. And this, the plant components itself, not all. Glycoside, for example, if you take it unnecessarily or accidentally in large dose, you die. It's not safe. So, what I'm trying to say now is, I'm not trying to say that do not take traditional medicine yet. Not yet. But I'm telling you that traditional medicine is not as safe in its original form as we think. We have to be very careful all the time. Don't take things for granted. Why I say this? Because in the market out there, people will always try to push herbal medicine for all purpose. This is natural, no chemicals, for whatever thing you want. That is worrying. Okay, that's why I'm starting this aspect. If you look at these chemicals, these are from plants, and all of them has got some types of toxic effect. Okay, so chemicals are in the plants, and they are not all safe. Okay. Okay, now I have to go a bit slower on this part. Plant materials contain bioactive compounds. Most of the plant's components that I mentioned just now, they are bioactive. Okay, what is bioactive? Bioactive means if this chemical goes into our system, it exerts a certain effect. Any effect doesn't matter, but it exerts a certain effect. It's not just going like sugar becomes energy, that's all. No. This one is extra effect. If you take sugar, you get extra energy. If you take salt, you feel a bit salty. If you take vinegar, you feel a bit sour. And that's all. No. This one has a certain activity. It may increase your blood pressure. It may increase your blood sugar. It may reduce your blood pressure. And it may affect the pain, the nervous system or whatever. That is the bioactive effect. Okay? That's why plants can cure. Because it has bioactive effect. It has bioactivity. It do something to the body. That's why some plants are good. Because it is doing something to the body. If you feel pain, you take that plant has done something to release relief pain. That is bioactive. Okay? So what we know now is these plants do something to the body. Good or bad, don't care. Don't worry yet. It can do something to the body. Okay. Now, what happens if we take excessive? If we take too much, what happens? A lot of things can happen. Because when we eat our food, our vegetables and all that, they are very small amount. They are very small. Okay? And that is good enough to give us some chemicals that we need. Okay? We take plants. For example, we take tomatoes. Tomatoes contain flavonoids. And they can do a lot of things to the body. This slide tells you when you take excessive, a bit more than normal, it can affect your cytochrome. Cytochrome is a certain enzyme in the blood, in the body, which is important in breaking down certain toxins, metabolize certain drugs and all that. I will explain a bit more later. But now just to give an overview, alkaloids, it can affect your nervous system. Morphine is an example of alkaloid. Codeine ni ubat sakit, ubat diarrhea, ubat untuk sakit. Codeine has a lot of uses. It comes from opium plant. Saponins. Saponins is a group of chemical which is very toxic most of the time. You find this in ginseng. Some are useful but in small amount. If you take a lot, they will break your blood cells. They can lyse your blood cells. Okay, if you take a lot. All saponins will do that. So do not eat too much. So, but I cannot tell you which plant all the time. But this is why I mentioned this. If you take plant material excessively, the high amount of saponin can cause lysis. Okay. And carotenoids. Okay, this one is the coloring, the what is that? Carrot. Carotenoids. They are kuning-kuning, they are good for the eyes and all that. But if you take a lot, you have problems as well. Okay. So this is some of the chemicals in the plants. If you take excessively, excessive is very important, you will get a lot of problem, which you do not expect, because there are so many chemicals in the plants. Each one can have their own effect. Okay. Antioxidants. This is a very, very, a very, very important word these days. A lot of people are talking about antioxidant, even the farmers. Oh, this plant got antioxidant. Oh, that plant got antioxidant. Antioxidant is very important to us because it protects our body in some way. Okay? And they are present in plants. They are present in plants. The thing is, these antioxidants do not last. It cannot last very long because antioxidant is supposed to protect ourselves from oxidation. oxygen comes and attack your body, this antioxidant will protect it. But these antioxidants, they are not lasting. They can be degraded very fast. Same thing like vitamin C. Vitamin C cannot last very long. If you buy an orange from China, forget about vitamin C. Don't expect to get vitamin C from that oranges. No more already. You get the sugar, you get the vinegar, not vinegar, the acid, the citric acid. Not vitamin C. Vitamin C is ascorbic acid. A lot of people got confused. They think citric acid is vitamin C. It's not. No, ascorbic acid is vitamin C. So, we must bear in mind that antioxidants can get destroyed very fast. If you buy something that say got a lot of antioxidant, forget it. We should know from now on that it does not last long. Okay? Okay. Now we look at local traditional medicine. Since I can only recall the 50s, I was not there yet. But this data is not factual. This is my own perspective. So do not quote this anywhere. This is my own perspective. In the 50s, traditional medicine in Malaysia, or in Malaya at that time, they are very, very safe because people use according to the rule and in small amount. If you are sick, they take some plants, they boil, they give to the patient, or not patient lah, to the person who is sick lah. It's not in the hospital. And they are very popular and cheap, very cheap. And they have been using this for a long time. But as we modernize in the year around 1990, sometimes 2000 and all that, they become slightly modernized. You can see traditional medicine dalam kotak, dalam in the plastic type of container, or sometimes folded in a paper. A little bit different from this time, from here. It's already like in boxes and so on. So we find this very popular, but a lot of them are already not safe because they are in higher amount. They have concentrated it. It's not natural as this. So if you don't know how much and how long and what is the quantity, you should not simply concentrate and let people take. It's dangerous, very dangerous. But that happens, okay? It's unsafe, but it's popular because people got the wrong concept. People think it's natural, and people think that okay, not so cheap already. People become cleverer now. Not so cheap. And adulteration is rampant. I will also show this after. Adulteration means they take some whatever plant, maybe grass or whatever, put some modern medicine inside. Oh, this is good for diabetes. Actually, when you check, it's glabenclamide inside. At that time, no metformin yet. Okay? And we found a lot. I have found at least, I got the figure, I'll show you afterward. So what has been happening is that they adulterate the herbs. It's common. If you get something like kambing, round black medication from China or local Chinese produce, they say for arthritis, assured contains steroid. Almost 100% sure. You ask Prof. Siti Tan, if you don't believe me. He got a lot for me. All the patients complain, all this nervous pain or whatever, when checked, it contains steroids. It's very common at that time. Okay? So, this is what happened around the 2000s. And today you see a different picture. All the traditional medicine are all in nicely, nice package and very expensive. Sometimes more expensive than the modern drugs. Because they say this is natural, this is traditional medicine. What has happened is they have concentrated the drug, the extract. That means instead of one plant, they concentrate and maybe from 10 plants into one tablet. That is what I was talking about just now, high concentration, which is very, 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 very dangerous. Very dangerous, because you don't know what it is. You don't know what is inside. If you know, it's fine. There is a certain toxicity level. If it is passed, it's okay. But if you don't know, it's very dangerous. You look at as now I said there are many components in the plants. Each component is bioactive. If you take one plant and concentrate and give to a patient, you say this is good for hypertension, you are trying to kill the patient, relatively. Because you don't know what it is, and you believe that it can cure, and you give to the patient. There are so many things which can happen. Afterward, you will see. But that is what I want to say right now. And adulteration is also there. I still got some adulteration. Even now, I have a lot of drugs in my lab with adulterated chemicals. Modern medicine inside there. It's not plant only. Plant with lebenchlamide, plant with dexamethasone, betamethasone, prednisolone. Good for limbs. If you take this, you don't have to see the doctor. Okay? It's very good. It's just like the doctor giving you prednisolone or hydrocortisone or whatever. It's the same. And they say this is natural. So that is happening. And this one, the claims are beyond logics. This drug can cure everything. See? So many things. You got this, oh, can. You got this, oh, can. My brother in Penang got cured. Somebody in Alostar, perfect, no need to operate. It works very well. This happened. Okay? Problems here in Malaysia. Authenticity. Even when a bomo or whoever wants to prepare the traditional medicine, some of them do not know how to recognize the plants. You cannot simply take the plant. If you think like that, you identify straight away, you confirm it. No. It needs to be authenticated. We have botanists, we have taxonomists, who is it, even them find it difficult to confirm a species. So it's not easy. Look at this vein. These veins, if the vein is different, the species may be different. So, if a different species has got different chemical components, it's very common. Okay? Claims. Okay, you know this already. They claim everything. Hygiene. The way they prepare the plants is very scary. They go to the jungle on a rainy day, bring back the plant, put under the house, wait for 2 days, wait for the sun to come out, already fungus in the plants. And they do not know that. They don't know that they are fungus. They just take that and dry. So you have the plants plus the fungus, plus some bacteria, microorganisms, plus. Okay? And preservation, after they prepare, they boil it, they make it for a few days. It may be fermented already, and fungus may come in also. So it's not properly done. Dosing, worse. They don't have any idea how much actually to give. Not properly documented. In the Chinese medicine, it's very specific. Very specific. They say this much. How to take it also they mention. How to use it they mention. But not yet on the Malay traditional medicine. No. I have not seen any protocol which is so specific as that. Components, sometimes they mix. Tak cukup pokok ni, campur sikit lah. Tak apalah, sikit saja. This is dangerous. Some plants are very, even small amount is good enough to affect your system. Authority. Straight away they got the product, I am authority in diabetes. See, a few people got cured already. Cured. Don't need to see doctor already because you take this plant. So they become authority. And they are not liable. If a doctor does that, he will go to jail straight away. Malpractice. See, but these people can do this freely. No problem. Okay, drug interactions. So many things. You know that if you take two drugs, there are tendency that these drugs may interact and may interfere with each other. Cytochrome. Cytochrome is, I think I will show you some slides because you will not understand clearly if I explain now. Adulterants. They put in medication which is already established. Some medication for hypertension, you find that there's nifedipine there. For no reason. You cannot find nifedipine in the plants. Cannot. The only thing right now, until today, the only thing that is known to be very ambiguous, but the only thing that is true is the red yeast rice from China, which contains statin. So far, that is the only one that is acceptable in the modern medicine plus traditional. That red yeast rice contains statin. Okay? They contain something like simvastatin for anti-cholesterol. That is natural. That is the only one so far. Nothing else. Okay. Ethical issues, of course, they don't worry about ethical issues because they are not doctors. They are not even bomo maybe. They just want to sell. Poor understanding of clinical trial. They say this one already undergone clinical trial. What they do is they give to a patient or whatever, ask him to take, ada demam lagi ke? Oh tak ada, okay. Clinical trial. Okay? That is already passed. Poor regulatory and media control. Regulatory control. This is very important. Right now, Ministry of Health is responsible. But they also have limitations. Media, that is worse. Right now, media has no control at all. Nothing. And they are the one responsible for the deterioration in the public understanding of traditional medicine. I will talk a bit more later. Okay. Previous issues. Noni causes bleeding. If you know Professor Siva, he had a bad experience before. He cut somebody, the blood cannot clot. And found out, we asked the patient to bring what they take at home. And we found that the patient is taking noni juice. Okay? That patient almost died. You were there, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so this is an example where you consume traditional medicine, you didn't tell the doctor. And when you come to the hospital, the responsibility is totally on the doctors. So what can they do if you don't tell them? And this is a very clear example. Slimming pill. Want to be so slim, and you die before you get high price. Okay, fenfluramine is there. And I think this one is in Singapore. Two people or one of the actors or artists. No, model, like, because they want to be slim. And a lot of them contain caffeine. Ginkgo, they say improve the brain power. Actually, until today, there's no proof. But people have been consuming that so much already. But ginkgo causes bleeding. Okay? They prevent the aggregation of platelets in the blood. So this is very serious. Okay? Grapefruit juice can cause death. Grapefruit juice. Apa bahasa Melayu? Siapa tahu? Grapefruit. Grapefruit bahasa Melayu, siapa tahu? 2%. Okay, never mind. But grapefruit juice has got enzyme inhibitor, cytochrome P450 inhibitor. When you take nifedipine needs the cytochrome to break it down. Bila kita makan ubat pagi, ubat ini akan dipecahkan sampai 4 jam ke 5 jam ke, habis. Kita makan lagi satu. Bila kita ambil grapefruit juice, ubat ini tak pecah. The drug did not break down. If you take the second time, the drug becomes 2 times. As if you're taking 2 tablets. By the time you take the 4th tablet, you're already taking 4 tablets in the body. So it's just like committing suicide. So this has happened already. It's in the papers. Okay, so this is grapefruit juice. The case happened on nifedipine, antihypertensive. Okay, gamat. Last time you may have seen on TV, gamat can cure hole in the heart. Professor Hassan Yaakob. You remember? Actually, it's not. It's not. So, but this thing becomes very, very popular at that time. Everybody believe gamat can cure hole in the heart. It's only for 2 weeks. After that, quiet. See? And it was on TV. I remember at that time, Anwar Zaini was a dean, and that becomes an issue in UN because that gamat started here. Okay, soya beans may cause breast cancer. Pomelo is another fruit that can cause enzyme inhibition, that affect the enzyme, cytochrome P450 enzyme. Tongkat Ali is an aphrodisiac. Anybody believe or not? Anybody believe or not? Tak berani nak mengaku. Tapi a lot of people are taking tongkat Ali, coffee, tea. I've seen a lot in the market. I don't know whether that is tongkat Ali or not, because you cannot find tongkat Ali now. It's all gone. Tongkat Ali takes many years to grow, and only the root has got some chemicals. Okay, that chemicals is toxic. It's toxic. It's anti-protozoa. It's toxic. And people are taking like crazy. Lucky, we are lucky that tongkat Ali that is sold in the market are fraud. If they are real, we will see a lot of complication in the public, in the community. Yes. Don't be surprised. Yes. But we are lucky. There's no tongkat Ali around. Okay. Current trend. This is now. Okay. You go to any part of the world, not only Malaysia. Natural is so nice. Take natural things. Of course, it's true. It's true. You like natural things like tea, for example. It's so nice. You have tea in the afternoon. This is fine. This is true. Natural is safe. Also true. So true. Because it's natural. Food. We have been taking food. If not, we are not here anymore. Modern drugs have side effects. Also true, isn't it? Of course, there's no drugs without side effect. Even vitamin C has got side effect. So it's true. Herbs contain no chemicals. You can laugh at this, isn't it? But this is a tag used by the peddlers and even the big companies. You can see that in some advertisement. They say this drug contains no chemical. Okay, proven for hundreds of years. This is another fraud thing. They say for cancer even. Dulu mana the people know about cancer? There's no such thing. Cancer is quite recent. But they keep claiming, okay, this is a danger also because people believe that. Has undergone clinical trials. The standard of clinical trial, you know what it is. Approved by Ministry of Health. Ministry of Health do not approve the drug itself. They approve the components to be sold as traditional medicine. What they check, I can name to you what they require. First, they must be free of bacterial contamination. There are only 4. Second, they must be free of lead or other heavy metals. Third, it must not be adulterated. Okay, you cannot put modern medicine inside. 4, you cannot claim. You cannot claim this is for this, for this, for this. That's all. That's all. If you qualify this, ministry will give you a letter. You can sell the drug. So that is not approval for the disease. Okay? Doesn't mean that the drug works. No. That is very wrong. That is very wrong. So this is being used nationwide. Oh, this drug is approved by Ministry of Health. And people think that the ministry has approved this for use in this. Or some people think that the ministry encourage us to take this drug. So this is happening. Okay? Don't get it wrong. The reality is no proper toxicity test has been carried out by the Malaysian authorities to approve the drugs. They don't check. There's no money to do that. It's very expensive. Very expensive. Okay, so this is the situation. Okay, what is most shocking today? I have been spending a lot of time in the car. Every time coming to work, I have scanned a few stations a few years ago. About 3 years ago, until now, I've still been scanning the few stations, and I found that Classic National got nice songs. Okay, lagu-lagu lama, IKIM, a lot of good information. But these two channels, at least, has done a lot of damage to the public. They have in every slot advertisements about traditional medicine, which is all wrong, totally wrong. They invite people who has no authority to talk to the public, and the facts are all wrong, and the public perceive it as right, because it comes from a government radio station. I don't know what the ministry is doing. It's simply not right to allow this. Simply not right, because the public perceive the government radio as a source of information. It should be true all the time. You cannot allow this. Anybody from the ministry, please go and tell them. This is very wrong. See, they don't get authorized people to talk. Anybody who sells drug can come and talk. You pay. Because I asked Kim Group, they say we don't have money to run the station. But that is not my issue. That's not my problem. But you cannot tell wrong information to the public, especially the people from the kampung who has not much education, nowhere to refer to. They don't have people to refer to whether this is correct or not. Okay? So this is happening. Jumpy, now, a lot of drugs in the market, also I listen from this radio, they jumpy and sell the herbs. They're using religion, religious facts or whatever, and to sell. What has jumpy got to do? You can't keep that. This is, I don't believe that. It's very wrong. And you sell, bukan bagi free. Okay, and they say they read Quranic verses and all that in before they prepare. And this is not right. Okay, this is happening. And many more lah. Tak cukup masa pula. Nak habis dah. Okay. Now, I talk a bit of science because it relates to what we have been talking just now. Now, to make you understand a little bit more. Pharmacology is toxicology. What does this mean is that all drugs that exert some effect on your body, if you take in high dose, it will be toxic. And plants also the same. Plants is just like drugs. If you take the plant for certain purpose, but if you take more than what is required, it's toxic. Okay? If you don't believe me, try and take Wincristin, no, not Wincristin, the glyphosate plant. In high dose, you get a lot of palpitation and all that. Or take morphine, opium, take a lot, then you be in trouble. Codeine is high there, you cannot go to toilet. Okay, so most medicine are toxic in high dose. Okay, what I'm trying to tell is some of the traditional medicines have effect on the cytochrome enzyme. This is the enzyme that I talked just now. This is the enzyme that controls the metabolism of certain drugs, metabolism of toxin and all that, and get it out from the body. So this enzyme is very important in our body. And some plants can affect this enzyme. They can make it more, or they can stop the enzyme, inhibit the enzyme. So plant materials can do that. And okay. We did some study many years ago, I think around 2000. We did some study to see that What our common plants, these are the plants that I can get hold of. These are done by my, I think, elective students last time, medical students. We want to see whether these plants are inhibitors or inducers of cytochrome enzyme. So these plants happen to be inducers. If you take this plant, you have more cytochrome enzyme. If you have more cytochrome enzyme, if you take one drug, that drug is supposed to last 4 hours, but it will only last maybe 2 hours. It cannot last that long because you have too many enzymes that break it down. Okay, so that is what happens. If you take pomelo, hibiscus or misai kucing, these are inhibitors. If you take pomelo, you take antihypertensive drug, nifedipine. Other drugs may not have effect. Nifedipine, after third dose, you may have different effect already. The nifedipine will be too high already. Okay, so it will affect your drug intake, these plant materials. Okay, and one interesting thing that happened is this: the less the plant that we take, the higher the effect. This is called inverted log dose response. Okay, this happens in some other chemicals, especially the chemicals in the environment, the toxic chemicals in the environment called endocrine disruptors. They also do the same. When it is in small amount, the effect is high. When we take a lot, the effect is low. This happens in durian. Okay, so this is very important. Very important. We rarely see this because durian is not being researched overseas. People do not look at durian so much. And you see, in the body, we need very, very, very small amount of chemicals to regulate our body. The hormones are in picogram, sub-picogram. They are not high. They are not in kilogram in the body. Same thing with the drug or the plant components. They are in small amount. And this small amount is enough to cause a lot of effect. Take this example. The cytochrome enzyme affect the steroid hormones in the body. We have so many steroid hormones in the body that if this enzyme is affected, there is a chaos. They will derail the synthetic system in the body. Some enzyme may be, some steroid may be less, some steroid may be more. This could be one of the reasons where you get cancer, if you have excess estrogen and so on. Without realizing it, you have excess estrogen. So, but you will not relate to the plants. You will say, no lah, rubbish, this plant is natural. See, you will not do this. It's natural. No chemicals, don't worry, take some more. So this is usually happen. I've been talking to people and this is what I got. This is what the answers from some of them. They are so convinced that they are okay because they are natural. I cannot be giving the lectures to them. I just talk to them, but this is the response. Okay? They don't understand. Now you also get this. You open your web page, you have a lot of this, and most of them are rubbish. Okay, I don't want to talk so much on this because too many. Too much. This one, I went to Langkawi around 1997. Rais pergi kan? I went to collect all the gamat, and I found they have methyl salicylate. Of course, if you have methyl salicylate, what you do to your body, of course, it's a cure. What the danger is here is that this is slightly toxic, and they advise people to drink. Yes, sakit perut, minum sikit. Yes. I ask them. Oh, kalau sakit perut, minum sikit. Yes. So these are toxic. Gamat is very, very, very potent in its own way. Okay, this is the secret. If you have problem with gastric ulcer or whatever, the gamat that is is, you takut ni rahsia. You just take the gamat, cut it, take the water and drink it. It's so smelly, but that is a cure. That is why gamat becomes so prominent in the traditional medicine, because it really cures ulceration in the GIT or whatever, in the gastric system. It heals. But that is the only way, no other way. If you keep that for long, it will be rotten. If you boil it, it will get spoiled. There's no other way. Cut it, drink it. You can try. It's very smelly, but it works. Okay, this is what we study. Just to show you, we look at some traditional medicine, Malay and Chinese. We found that there are a lot of steroids. A lot of steroids. So many drugs that contain steroids. This one, Bantulik. This one is for arthritis. A lot of Chinese people believe that they are very good. And they are steroids. They contain dexamethasone. This one contains beta-methasone. This one I cannot remember. I think some has got both mixtures. And what I did, I found out where they buy the steroids. If you go to Chowkit, not now, during that time, year about 2000, you go to Chowkit, you can buy the steroids in blocks. It comes in blocks. About 40 ringgit. Yes. They come in blocks. They come from Indonesia. The steroids. I believe that they are expired steroids coming from pharmaceutical factories. They cannot use anymore. They make into kit and sell. I believe that. I got no proof. This is only my perception. Okay. Okay. These are jamu. Okay, jamu. Are these safe or not? I don't know. I have shown you the story. You interpret yourself. Because I don't have time to analyze every drug in the market. Not easy. These are the results of our studies. We have got 198 samples. This is the percentage that we got. We got steroids. 80% of the drugs in the market has steroids. Okay? This is at random. So that's a lot. They got antihistamine, anti-diabetic, and one stimulant. The stimulant, I think, if I'm not wrong, is opium. It's in jamu. Jamu. Opium. Anti-diabetic is glucosamine. There's no other drug for anti-diabetic that is found in the adulteration market. Only glucosamine, because glucosamine is the cheapest. Cheapest. Okay, these are the list. You get so many types of steroids. And chlorpheniramine also. Okay, this is for the doctors. What you should investigate the intake of herbal medication. Normally the patient will not tell you. They takut doktor marah. So you have to find out. Duration of intake. If they have been taking for quite some time, the amount of cytochrome enzyme is almost level. If it is high, it's already high. If it's low, it's very low. Because they have been like continuous intake. So it is serious. Suspect for P450 effect and ask how much you take. If anti-arthritic, very easy. That drug may contain steroids. Surgical patients, check for noni because it affects clotting. Very common. Yes. Noni use. And some ginkgo, they can affect clotting. Okay, the future. Where does this herbal medicine going to go? Traditional medicine has a very high potential. It is a very good form of medication. It's very good. You have an alternative at least. But this is very important. You must ensure they are quality and they are safe. Nothing less than that. They must be of high quality and safe. You can make good money. Good money. They should be placed in its rightful position. Right position, not something skeptical. Okay? They must be properly handled. Require serious screening for toxicity, and they can provide good alternative. It's very, very good. But it must be done rightly. Okay, this field actually, if you look at it properly, they tend to divide into two poles. The uninformed skeptics who don't believe in anything. A lot of people don't believe at all. This traditional medicine bullshit, rubbish. A lot of people don't believe at all. And the uncritical enthusiasts who don't care about data. The other side, no worry, traditional medicine only. I don't want to see any doctors. Even Panadol is not good. Only traditional medicine. So they are very contradictory groups. We want to convince the skeptics that some things work. Some things work in traditional medicine. There are a lot of good things. And the enthusiasts to be more cautious. If you are really a traditional medicine fan, be careful. It can kill. So this is very important. You have to take the middle line. This is the right thing to go. Not to be so engrossed in your own choice or determination or opinion. It's not right. Okay. Herb safe. General view. Botanicals, this is what people think. Botanicals are always better than compounds that coming from the factory of synthetic chemicals. This is the general view. But my view is that no such thing as safe medicine. I have not seen anything that you can take as much as you want. Even if you take rice also, you have trouble after you take it. Your body becomes very big already, not fat, big. Okay, and the most important again is the safe use and safe physician. It must be used safely because these are medication. And if possible, safe physician. That is the right thing to go. Okay? Why? Okay, these are some of my publications. The books are produced by free. And this one is Oxford Padavakti. Okay, so I think I have passed a few minutes of the time given to me. Thank you very much for being with me this afternoon. Okay.
Our greatest gratitude to Professor Dr. Mustafa for the excellent presentation. Now I would like to open the floor to the audience. If you have any inquiries or questions to our speaker, kindly raise your hands.
Professor, I have one question. I'm a bit confused. You have been saying about herbal medicine, always refer to Chinese and the Malays, but you know said anything about Indians. I mean, take it as very safe. I'm so confused. Can you clarify on that? Plus, one more question. You say herbal is more toxic. What about the hospital medicine? Is it not toxic? Hospital medicine. I'm using hospital, non medication. Side effects, and they said so. Please answer this question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I did not mention Indian medicine. Actually, it is there. It's part of traditional medicine. I said I can only focus on two because of the time. It's not that I ignore the Indian medicine. I know that there are also a lot. These three, Chinese, Indian, and the Western, are very, very established medicine. They have got all the protocol, the Ayurvedic and all that.
Excuse me, but they have international conference in countries like China, India, Russia got together. Malaysia has joined the conference, and they have joined in the Herbal. And are you not supporting that?
Yeah, I can't understand.
The Herbal has been internationally international conference. The big countries like China, India, Russia.
Yeah.
And recently Malaysia has joined the conference.
Yeah.
And they recommend to join and carry on here in this country. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am the committee.
What is the government doing about it, of its introduction?
This is a committee which is based in China. I'm part of the committee. This is a World International Committee for Herbal Medicine. We met last year. I think October, June or July. And this committee, they form a group which can advise. They are not decision maker. No, they don't decide. They only advise. And this advice is taken by WHO. So that is there. It's there. There's nothing to talk about it. It's there. It's always there. No problem.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.
Any more questions? Yes, we have this gentleman.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
So, individual medicine is very complex, right? Many different parts, many different of components. Of course, around the world, the difficulty in testing is because it's so complex that you couldn't pinpoint to a protocol that you can easily apply to most of the samples. So, is there a country out there that is leading the way when it comes to this kind of testing for herbal products? And what is Malaysia's approach in terms of, is there a minimum test that we can look forward to?
Okay, this is a very interesting question. You see, the plants contain so many chemicals. When we discuss about herbal medicine, what we should be looking at is not individual chemicals anymore. If we are looking at individual chemicals, they are modern medicine. If you talk about glucosamine, you talk about nifedipine, you talk about chlorpheniramine, they are modern medicine. What we should be looking at is a combination in its original form, maybe fractionated. Yes, that is what we are looking at for traditional medicine. Because it works in that way. If we want to purify it and make it modern, then there is not traditional medicine. That becomes wind pristine, wind blasting. You see? So that is the story. Very simple. When we want to commercialize the traditional medicine, we should have in its original form, but maybe improved form. But in Malaysia, as I see, there is no change from the beginning until today. No change. How much the government has put in the money, the change is not there because there is no concerted effort. Nobody gets together and do it. Everybody wants to do on their own. So that's why we go nowhere. The Chinese has established, the Indian has established, the others are already going somewhere, but in Malaysia, no, I think we are not going anywhere. Sometimes we are going backward. Now the traditional medicine become toxic already. Last time it was safe. Now it's toxic and people getting a negative response towards that. That is not good. See, so we should think about where are we going? How are we going to do it? Until now, I don't see the government is doing anything positive. Not much. This is my personal opinion. I don't put to the press and say I'm anti-government. But not much. I don't see anything much. People are still selling the crude extract and claim so many things. Like kampung punya style. And no hygiene is looked into. Some are already fermented. I got some samples which I can sure that they are all fermented because they use water base. It cannot be like that. And these are the people who destroy the traditional medicine in Malaysia. They are the one who kills the industry. Okay, any more questions?
I think we have a question from the gentleman from the back here.
Dr. Sile, huh?
This one, Doctor.
Okay.
Okay, lupa marah. Doktor, I nak tanya soalan tak berapa popular jugalah. Mic ni rasanya macam tak okey ke?
Tak dengar pun.
Okey, I rasa suara saya kuat Okey, Doktor, I nak tanya you. Herbal Ganoderma lucidum.
Okay.
Okay, Chinese called Lingzi.
Yes.
Okay, Japanese called Reishi. Indonesia called Jamo.
Okay, dah tahu dah.
Okay, tapi certain people tak tahu. Because Chinese call is herbal terbaik di dunia.
Okay.
Okay, so Malay market and Indian market masih tak popular lagi. So tolong cerahkan. I mean, jelaskan.
Okay, Ganoderma is a very controversial fungus. Dia ni kulat, cendawan. Ada orang panggil kulat, ada orang panggil cendawan. This Ganoderma, the only thing that is very established is the content of the element dalam tu. Dia ada high element. And that also varies between the place that they obtain. Because of that, people cannot get a consistent result. And whatever claim is very controversial. Because you claim kat sana, kita check kat sini tak ada. Kalau Ganoderma tu datang daripada China, it's different from Ganoderma from India. Datang daripada tempat lain pula. And Ganoderma di Malaysia, they grow in atas kapas, atas macam in the lab, bukan lab lah, in the farm, bukan natural. Dia bukan ditanam, Ganoderma dipanggil apa? Di breed dalam kapas. Polybag, yes. It's not in original form. I really doubt what the contents are. It may not be the same because from previous studies of traditional medicine and medicinal plants, different locality can produce different results. So it's very controversial. Susah kita nak kata it's the same quality. That's why dia tak ke mana. I cannot say that it's good because we don't know.
Because Ganoderma yang I nak share ni from Kedah, Gano XL.
Yeah, from Kedah ke, Kelantan ke, Terengganu ke, they are different. So kalau you talk about Kedah, it's different from my Kelantan, my Terengganu, my Pahang punya Ganoderma. So that makes it not valid to have a claim. Kita tak boleh claim. Okay, any more?
Dr. Sile has a question.
Dr. Sile, yeah.
Thank you so much for this really inspirational. I think this is you make me really interested in this herbal medicine and learn in a scientific way. Thanks, thank you very much. Another thing is that even if it is not in like medicine form, the herbal like or whatever the concepts. And what about the idea of as a food? For example, it's like the albumin, the yellow powder.
Oh, that is more like supplement, probiotic and that. That one is different. Yes, that is a different issue. That one is a different category already. Because that one sometimes it comes in different rules and regulations. Medicine means you are sick, then you take it. But that probiotics, if you are not sick also you can take. But that has about the same adverse effect and all that. Because if you take consistently, the level in the plasma will be disturbed.
So now they are changing a little bit of the strategy
Yeah.
in a marketing that is like a supplement. It is rather than a drug.
Yes.
So I think this one is
But the effect is almost the same. Almost the same. But the category are different. Supplement is different. Yes.
the last thing is that as a doctor, communication is very important also. We ourselves as a doctor, we also must open and ask from the patients that what are you
Yes.
taking. And then I think for the public side as well, please let us know that what you are taking. Because I have a patient who has an endometriosis. He given an injection to stop the menstruation so that make her cancer menopause. But because of this so-called effect of the drug, she is taking it and she bought like 1,800 pay for a 1 month supply, but actually
Yeah, it's common.
really opposite to what they are doing.
This is very common.
Communication is very important.
Soya bean is another issue. Taking soya bean and all that because it is very high in estrogen. It contains lysine and genistein, which are basically estrogen. So these are effects which the patient don't know, but they take it and they keep quiet.
Yes, sir. I think public also must let
Yes, the public should be more alert on that. They should know that. They should tell the patient. They tell the doctor. Yes. Okay, any more questions? Okay, please. Yes.
What are some of the traditional medicines that they should avoid when breastfeeding the baby, and which also they don't get due to
Okay, if you ask me that question, it's very important. All pregnant ladies should not take any kind of chemicals. No, full stop. No. It will be very serious to your babies. And also exposure to pesticides, to environment, the air freshener. X-ray well known. The one that they don't know is in the room, you spray a lot of pesticides and you put air fresheners everywhere. These are the culprits. Okay? Air freshener has got a lot of toluene, which are almost carcinogen. So these are not supposed to be there. And perfume, some perfume, not all, some are coming from the plant, but some perfume are synthetic. They are not supposed to be used in pregnancy. So drugs, of course. All medication, if you don't know, better don't. No, full stop. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much, members of the audience, for all the questions. I would like to call upon the Head of Department of the Emergency Medicine, Dr. Saleh bin Yahya, to give a token of appreciation to our speaker, Professor Dr. Mustafa. Thank you, Dr. Saleh. That about wraps up our event for today. I would like to remind the audience that of every first Thursday of the month, the Emergency Department will be holding a talk, much like today's event, covering many topics, such as over-the-counter medicines, efficacy and safety, chest pains and stroke. The full list of topics are listed down the slides for your perusal. We would like to invite all of you again to join us in time to come. And packed lunch are provided just along the corridor outside the hall. There will be an assigned seating area for all the representatives from the police department. And with that, on the behalf of the Secretariat and the hospital, thank you very much for coming and have a good day ahead. Thank you.